Thanks very much for that introduction. My name is Lachlan McDaniel, and as a Wiradjuri man, I'd like to acknowledge the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation as the owners of the land we are on today. The Gadigal have lived on and cared for this country since time immemorial, and as a Wiradjuri man, I recognise the fact that I am on someone else's land. To me, the Midnight Oil song, Beds Are Burning, is about the legacy of discomfort Australia has had with the fact that it actually has Indigenous people. It's about the fact that the colonial nation that exists on this continent today was built through the disinheritance of those Indigenous people without just cause or explanation. Becoming the lucky country came at a terrible cultural and human costs and continues to do so today. But I'm not here to make anyone feel guilty. In fact, guilt about the past is as useless in correcting this injustice as a failure to act today is. I would like you to become informed, active, but above all, proud. I want you to act to make a future for this nation that generations to come can be proud of. I want you to make a fundamental shift in the discomfort that this nation has held towards its Indigenous peoples, from one of ignorance, guilt, and at sometimes resentment, to one of pride. This is entirely possible, and I believe that this process starts with our nation's highest legal document, the Constitution. The Constitution is not a familiar topic to most Australians. Its purpose and its content is largely unclear to most citizens. But this does not diminish from the fact that it is an extremely powerful force in shaping the social fabric of this nation, and it is permeated with views that have allowed for great injustices. Section 51(26) of your Constitution says that laws can be made for people on the basis of their race. When Aboriginal people in South Australia challenged legislation that was underpinned by this power, the High Court of Australia said this is entirely acceptable. In other words, the status quo of your Constitution says it's okay to make legal harmful laws that target Australians on the basis of their race. According to Section 25 of your Constitution, the states have the power to ban people from voting on the basis of their race. In this nation, which prides itself on its democratic virtues, it is legally acceptable to deprive citizens of their most fundamental civil right on the basis of race. Australia is the only nation in the world that has such a clause in its constitution. Furthermore, your constitution makes references to lighthouses, postage, and coins, but it says nothing of the fact that you share this continent with the world's oldest continuing cultures. Cultures that have survived an unbroken line through an ice age, the decline of the megafauna, and some of the world's most brutal colonial practices. Beds ought to be burning and alarm bells ought to be ringing. And make no mistake, this is your constitution. It's your responsibility by virtue of your citizenship to this nation, and complacency perpetuates this injustice. Politicians cannot change this for you. Community leaders cannot change this for you. The Constitution itself states that the only way the words can be changed is by a national vote by citizens. But in order to get to that vote, Australians must act. You must inform yourself about this issue, and then inform your colleagues and your friends and your family. The campaign can steer your actions towards a successful outcome, but we need your actions to fuel the movement. If you don't believe that your government should be able to harm people on the basis of their race, if you wish to pay respect to those people who have cared for the place you now call home for tens of thousands of years, if you believe that future generations of Australians deserve a future devoid of the injustices of our past, I encourage you to sign up as a supporter at Recognise at recognise.org.au. Thank you.